Hey YouTubers, what's up and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Vintage Game Finder. I'm Neebs Mazda 07. Good to have you back. Another great week of pickups in the books. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start with the Sony side of this week's pickups. Like I said, some titles I have, some titles I didn't have, and some titles I'm going to go ahead and pass along because I already do have. So let's get started. I got a copy here of Suzuki TT Superbikes Rear Road Racing. And it's a common game, of course. I mean, any sports title, or in this case, sport bike game is considered common by many. But I remember buying this brand new at Best Buy, and I played it a lot with my cousin, and we enjoyed it. And the way the bikes would wipe out, there was like a comical effect to it, and it would always make us laugh for some reason. So this game had a little bit of sentimental value, so I went ahead and picked it up just because of that. Next, I have a copy of Nightshade from Sega. You already know if it's Sega, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. I'm going to make a beeline for it. From what I hear, it's a spiritual successor to the Shinobi series. Maybe even a side story from it. Who knows? But I am very excited that I picked this up. I tried to work the lady down on the price, and she was not having it, so I picked it up for what she was asking for. But I'm very happy to have this copy in the PS2 library. Next, this game I bought brand new, and for some dumb reason I went ahead and traded it in to GameStop, just like a lot of us do. We all have our horror stories about GameStop when we're trading stuff in. But this game, I enjoyed it from the beginning all the way to the end. It was just a fantastic experience, a fantastic walkthrough, gameplay-wise. And I'm very happy that I went ahead and picked it up again. This is from Tecmo, Rygar, The Legendary Adventure. And to those of you that are not familiar with Rygar, it started on the NES. I have that. I'm lucky to have a copy of that as well for my NES library. But this game here, if you haven't played it, if you like Bayonetta, if you like Heavenly Sword, if you like God of War, you're gonna like this. So if you see it out there in the wild, you don't have it, do yourself a favor and pick it up. You will enjoy it. Next, game I don't know too much about. Kind of looks like I look at the cover and I look at the back, and immediately I think to mind Gauntlet, and that is Legion. The Legend of Excalibur from Midway. Another PS2 title. It looks interesting. I'm going to give it a shot. Now we're going to the PS3. And these were a couple of titles I picked up at GameStop as well. This is Stormrise. Another release by Sega. So I'm interested to see what this one's about. And I'm happy to have it in the library. Next, the cover art in this one was really kind of cool, and it got me, intrigued, so I went and picked it up even though I had no idea what the game was about at all. It's called Tornado Outbreak. That's from Konami. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the library. I will be playing it, and hopefully I end up liking it so it can stay in the library. And I did not have a hockey game for my PS3 collection, so I went ahead and picked that up for $1. NHL 12, which is what it should be worth, pretty much. Alright, now we're moving on to Sega. I'm very, very happy with what I picked up as far as the Sega end of the weekly pickup goes. I made some contacts, and those contacts have come back, and it has paid dividends for me. So let's go ahead and show you. First off, I got a VMU from a good friend of mine. Green. I have the regular standard gray. Now I have green. I think, what other colors are there? I think blue and orange, if I'm not mistaken. If you know what the other colors are, feel free to let me know in the comments section. I do love the Dreamcast. I am researching that there are possible upgrades as far as HDMI and everything. So when that stuff comes out, I'm going to be all over it. So love having these extra VMUs. Love them. And the price that I got it for, you, if I told you, you'd flip out. Alright, so like I said, I made some contacts along the way, collecting and scavenging. And those contacts have called me back and given me some pretty good leads and some pretty good prices on the games that I do have in this Sega portion of the weekly pickup. Let's go ahead and get started. I have a loose copy of Shadowrun, a loose copy of Golden Axe, which I think this may be a double, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on. Next, very happy that I found this. I wish the label was in a little bit of better shape, but beggars can be choosers. I'm just happy that I actually have a copy of this game for my Sega Genesis, and it is Dynamite Heady. I have a copy of it for the Sega Game Gear, but unfortunately I don't have a Sega Game Gear anymore. I sold it before I actually started getting back into collecting video games. And the reason I did that is because it needed to be recapped. The screen was just abysmal. You could hardly tell whether there was a picture there or not. It was just a blatant light, and that's a problem from what I told. That's all too common with those Sega handhelds. So I was sad to see it go because I bought it brand new, and I had about 10 games with it, but I needed the extra money, unfortunately. Anybody with kids, they understand what I'm talking about. Next, I have a copy here, which I believe is a duplicate of Road Blasters. This is Tecmo Super Hockey. So hopefully I could get it cleaned up and get it to work, and if there's a repro label, I may consider going ahead and changing that because this one's pretty bad shape. Alright, now we go to the complete in box for the Sega here, and I ended up buying these on a lot of the next 4 games I'm going to show you, and I got a really good price on them. And to the lady that sold them to me, if you're watching, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It is going to a collector. These are not getting flipped. They are staying here. This is their home now, and they will be taken care of and given the love that they deserve. So here you go. Sonic & Knuckles, complete in box for Sega Genesis. Not a big deal to some, but a big deal to me because I did not have it. So I'm pretty excited that I have it complete all the way down to the registration card. So I don't have a lot of cardboard box Sega Genesis titles, but for how old this game is and the condition this box is in, very happy. Next, got myself a copy of Virtua Racing for Sega Genesis. Not the exact version that most people want to play. I heard the Sega Saturn version is the one to have as far as Virtual Racing goes, but I know it came out for Genesis, 32X, and of course the Saturn. So I will be keeping an eye out for that Saturn title because I don't have it in my Saturn collection, but for now I will have to be content with having this one. Next, a common title, but a complete in box title that I was able to find in the wild, and very happy that I did. It's Winter Olympic Games from US Gold, and that's I think Lillehammer '94, the Olympic Games. So it has biathlon, speed skating, bobsleigh, downhill, moguls, don't know what the hell that is, and ski jump. Went ahead and got a complete in box copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Combining this with the Sonic & Knuckles, very happy that I have this complete. Alright, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and finish off the video here with what we picked up as far as the Nintendo side goes. Some really quality titles, or some real quality titles I should say, and some titles that are more or less common, but I did not have in my library, so let's go ahead and check them out. Alright, for the Super Nintendo, we picked up 2 titles, and I think these are 2 titles that are, in my opinion, sought after and not too common. So I went ahead and picked up Chuck Rock. A game that I thought was just on the Sega Genesis, but it turns out it was also on the Super Nintendo. So I'm excited to clean it up and pop it in and see which version is the most preferred one. And this game I've heard and I've seen a lot of hype about especially the second version, but this is the first version. It's from Natsume. It's Pocky and Rocky. Alright, next we're going to the GameCube. Pretty good titles. I had no idea there was a Bomberman for the Nintendo GameCube, but I came across this one and I was corrected. So it's Bomberman Generation. This one, I'm very sad that the cover art came out the way it did, but the game is there. Very minimal to light scratches on it. A light resurfacing, so you do the trick. And for the price that I was given for it, I did not want to pass it up. This one's Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. Really shitty cover, so I'm going to go ahead and have to reproduce one. But this one's staying in the collection for sure. Next, I got Pokemon Colosseum. Now, I've come across more than one copy of these. I come across one that was not for resale, and I had to go ahead and find a home for that one because I want to sit here and lie to you and say that I love Pokemon. No, I don't love Pokemon, so I will find a home for this eventually. Next, I got a Player's Choice edition of Resident Evil 4. Pretty excited to have Resident Evil 4 in my GameCube library. My kids not so much, but I am. So this is one of those games when they fall asleep, I will be playing it, preferably in the dark, so I can get the most fun out of it. And now we're on the Wii side of things. I picked up a couple games for my kids and a couple for myself. For my kids, I picked up Littlest Pet Shop Friends. The one thing I like about the Wii is it's kid friendly. I mean, a lot of people hated that. I mean, you know, the true Nintendo nerds, for lack of a better term, did not like that as much. But I do, because it's to me it's a good introduction for my kids to get into video gaming. Picked up another Sega release. A lot of people told me this game is horrible, and I've seen some reviews, so I'm inclined to agree before I even play the game. But I'm still gonna play the game and give it a shot because it's from Sega. It's Sonic and the Secret Rings. So I picked up Sega Superstars Tennis. And last but not least, very excited that I picked this up. It's SNK Arcade Classics, the compilation for the Wii. I will be downloading the cover for that, obviously. Anything SNK, anything Capcom, more or less Konami as well. I love picking up, not only just for the nostalgia, but also because there's still some really good franchises that are still in the mix to this day. So I always like making a beeline for those titles. Alright, well that's pretty much it for this week's pickups. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. I have a variety of stuff that I pick up from one week to the next. I'm not gonna lie to you and say every week is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna have some weeks that are gonna be quite shitty, but for the most part, I make every effort I can in between work and in my personal life to go ahead and upload these videos, to actively stay out there and pick up a lot of these gems that are either being neglected or stolen and flipped for an absurd amount of money. So I'm out there. I know I have competition. But competition is good in whatever you do because it only steps your game up, right? So, like always, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing the videos. I appreciate you liking the videos. I appreciate the positive comments and all that other bullshit. Thank you very much. Like always, God bless, stay safe, and happy hunting.